123 BPM.
Yeah, I like that.
Alright guys, so this is my garage, aka my garage, aka my garage. So this is the bike I've been riding, CR250L. This is the one bike that is new, that I purchased new. That is the first bike I ever had. It's a bicycle. It's not the same thing as a motorcycle, but it's still a bike, you know, it's two-wheeler. And actually, I just replaced the tires on it, new ones. And I don't have my WRX here, my Subaru WRX four-wheeler sedan car. But I recently got racks for it so that I could haul this thing out into wherever I'm going. So a couple weeks ago I went out camping. I wish I brought my GoPro. That was kind of fun, but I didn't do a lot of riding, just enough to really ride around in the area. Checked out the lake where I was, and prove out that I can bring it with me wherever I want to go. That said, these are the racks. It's the Rhino racks. They fit on the WRX very well. And then that alongside, where is it? I need to throw. Obviously, my whole garage is a mess. I need to clean up the garage, but where's my? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. So that. What do you call it? Yakima? I don't know. But that thing is the bike rack that the bike mounts on, and that rack sits on those racks. So that's pretty cool. And this is my primary commuter right here. This is my Kawasaki Vulcan 500. She has a name. Her name is Gertrude. Gertrude. Ah, yes, Gertrude. So I have actually been fixing it up. When I bought it, it was $700. Surprisingly, it ran pretty well from the get-go. It's just that it had bent forks, so I had the forks straightened. I had a missing fender. I got the front fender replaced. I found a used one on eBay. Let's see. Brake pads, I got those replaced. The seller had recently done an oil change. He recently bought an oil filter. So all that was good. He had sawed off the mufflers right here, and on both sides, because it's got two mufflers. And because he said it complained it sounds like a washing machine or a sewing machine, which it kind of does. But after sawing them off, it was super loud. I mean, illegal loud. So it actually hurt my ears. I had to use earplugs no matter where I was going. So I got that fixed. I bought used mufflers on eBay. I'm not a mechanic, so obviously this is kind of loose. It shouldn't be. I need to figure out why. But let's see. So for whatever reason, he bent this thing back intentionally. And when he had bent the forks, he had crushed this, but actually it still holds its seal. So that's not leaking at all. But meanwhile, because of that and because of this bend, I just think it looks tacky. So I have a replacement here that I eventually am going to store at some point. So that's kind of nice. I had another replacement, and I took this whole thing off and, dripped brake fluid everywhere, got all over this. This needs to be repainted anyway, so I didn't really care about it ruining the paint. which I'll get into that in a minute. But I had pulled this thing completely off and disconnected it, and then I realized that the replacement was the wrong size. Like, it literally was too small. So I had to put the old one back on, and I had to redo the brake fluid, which means I had to, what do you call it, bleed the brakes. Look, guys, this is my first time I've ever done anything like this. I don't know anything. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not good at any of this. So I learned how to bleed the brakes. So I'm going to be doing that again. I got to bleed the brakes again when I get that thing on. What else? I had bought this chrome for the radiator grill. You can kind of see it's got the flame going up. So that was going to be here to sit in front of that. And when I put that on, instructions said basically use these screws in there to mount it on top of that cover. And so I tried to put it back on, and it wouldn't fit. So because there's no space left between the cover and the actual radiator grill, and these screws are sticking out too far, and the instructions don't say trim off the screws. So being the ignorant idiot that I am, I grabbed long nose pliers and I literally tried to create holes for those screws. Next thing I know, I'm almost covered in coolant, because the radiator grill, I didn't realize that the radiator grill those fins are not dry fins. They're actually small tubes for the coolant to run through. So I had to buy a new radiator for the bike off eBay, and I had to replace that. Again, I'm new to this stuff, so I'm surprised that I seem to have gotten it figured out just fine. Another fail and success in the end. I got chrome. I had to get this chrome off of eBay. It didn't have it. So also these bolts were rusted out, so I decided let's go to instead of getting the OEM stuff, which is expensive, like $12 shipping alone, I just went to Home Depot and got some bolts, and I started to put them in, and they wouldn't really go in all the way, and then next thing I know, the head pops off. It breaks off. That's great. So now I'm buying a extraction kit to get the bolt out, and that doesn't work. So I buy another extraction kit, and that extraction bolt breaks. And actually, by the time I got that far, I had literally taken the seat off, I'd gotten the fender out, I was actually getting angry. I'd spent all day, about 3 Saturdays ago, trying to get that thing extracted. The fender support, which is part of the kind of extension of the frame, I had ripped all that stuff out trying to get at the stupid thing. I'd sawed off the bolt from the frame just to get this stupid thing out, and then the extractor breaks. And at that point I was like, you know what, I've lost this battle. So I just bought a new fender support. So it's the this guy. This is the old one. This is what the mess that I made. I just could not win. It's pretty pathetic. Yeah, and every time I touch this, I am a mess. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, so this guy has been, this Gertrude, my lady Gertrude, has been my primary vehicle every single day, getting me to work for the last couple weeks now. Normally parked here would be my WRX, my Subaru, and that was my daily commuter. I've got it loaned out to a friend who really desperately needed it. They're going through some hard times and just needed a boost. So I decided, hey, He didn't have a car, so just wanted to lend a hand. Anyway, so normally that guy's over here. So this would be my motorcycle area. And then this guy is for my weekends. Now today's Saturday. Today she didn't get much use, but she will tomorrow. He, she, it. I don't know, people like to call them she's. This bag is has magnets on it to hold it in place, but doesn't have a lot of magnet stuff to hold on to, metal to hold on to in the front, so it's often falling off, but it works well enough and I like it, and it's not in my way when I ride it or get on it. I also have a rear tail bag, which is pretty nice. Where is it? That's one problem with having such a mess of a place is I forget where things are. Yeah, so it looks like my brake light, I had made a mistake. I had thought that this thing was fully assembled and just was missing some bolts or whatever. So I ordered bolts, and after buying the replacement for the frame support, it turned out it was not missing bolts. It was missing half of the whole thing. Like there's like a body of the brake light that's missing. So I just put it back there like it was. Originally it had been zip tied on there. Now I just, and I had cut the zip tie so I couldn't reuse that. So now it's just got this wire trying to hold it on. And it still pops off, so I gotta get that whole thing replaced. Oh, so next on this bike, like I said, I got the brake handle to replace, but I also have really, really nice saddlebags. That'll go right up there. That looks really good. That looks really good. I've had these sitting around for quite a while. I couldn't even think about installing them until I replaced the frame support, the fender support, which I just did last Saturday, and honestly that just wore me out. I just didn't want to think about it anymore for a while. So about doing any more work on this bike for a while. Just wanted to enjoy riding it, right? So that will be my next little project. Maybe I'll think to record it when I do that. It is supposed to be sort of a two-person project because you're supposed to be getting someone to hold it while the other person measures, and then you drill holes into the bag where it mounts. But I don't have anybody here to work with me on that, so it might be a little bit awkward. That's another reason why I've been holding off. So I'm really looking forward to that being on there. That's going to look really good. I'm really tired of not having any luggage on this bike, because that thing at least has the front, and usually I have a tail bag here. Still not sure where I put that tail bag. So I've had a whole bunch of stuff stolen from my front door just this week. It was very discouraging. Fortunately, I managed to survive. And this is one of the things that I had ordered. I had to order it again, or buy it again. I didn't do it online this time. I just went to the store and bought it. I really needed this because this is what I have been using, this and this guy right here. I've been using these, and it's just a real bad problem of buffeting. So in the wind, it shakes so much, and I wear glasses, so I just can't see. I mean, literally, I can't see the high road if I'm at high speed, and the wind is buffeting like this. I can't see the road. So The wind control is so much better on this one. The buffeting is gone. It's a lot more quiet, and I'm looking forward to being able to do vlogs with this guy. In the meantime, with that white one, it came with an optional pop-on dimmed visor, but I decided to keep the clear one and be wearing these instead. So that's what I've been riding with. So that's been working well. But this guy, that one and this one both have this feature. You see that? Right. That's really, really nice. So I got the shades going on there. I won't need these anymore. Not that I mind. If I really want to just go down the street, don't want to bother putting this on. I shouldn't, but I can just pull these on. Like I said, obviously I know that my garage is quite a mess. This is not the way it should be, but I just wanted to get this fender put back on correctly with the replacement of that. And so I just pulled out this table, dumped all the tools and bolts and whatever I had on the table. And since then I've had a couple deliveries, and my helmets, I dropped my helmets on here, so I just need to organize. But anyway, this is what I've got, and looking forward to doing some more.